What's up, guys? Welcome to another Monday night Q&A session. I see we've already got people in the waiting room, and I'm just excited. I'm excited for another beautiful day. Y'all know what we're here to do. We're here to answer questions, whatever you guys have. This is the time. This is the time. We set aside time every week to come on here, spend an hour with you guys, and just get down and right into the nitty gritty. I see we've already got a couple of people in the side chat over here. We got El Chino, Martha, we got Rob Dodd from Minnesota over there. We got Joel, Dewell, Max, Rob Dodd, the king of ice fishing. I love it. Let's go. Look, we even got KJ in the audience. Super excited, guys. Another beautiful Monday. I hope you guys started it off strong. Got a lot of work done this week. That's what Mondays are for. Set the week up right. I'm just super stoked for everything that's about to happen, guys. Uh, Shit, I'm having a baby in 2 days. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm definitely, excited, a little nervous. We're gonna see what happens, though, right? I'm just gonna do the best I can. Um, for those of you guys that don't know, this is the $1 million upside here. I'm one of four. It's myself, my wife KJ, Oscar Jimenez, and Ione. Oscar should be here soon, but until then, you guys got me. Some may say the best, but I don't know. I don't know who's saying that, but I'm super excited to be here, guys. I like to have a little fun with it. Um, the focus of this live of this Joel says, when will Baby Mud be coming a part of the team? ASAP. Day one. Day one. That's Wednesday. Wednesday. Michelle. What's up, Michelle? But the focus of this Zoom, guys, is Q&A. We're here to answer whatever questions you guys might have about multifamily or anything like that. That's the primary target. We set aside this time for you guys to be able to be a resource in a field or career that a lot of people just don't know a lot about, or the information is not as accessible as single family is. Like Max says, need Baby Mud to be a KP on my next deal. It's gonna have to be a pretty small deal, man. I don't know how much she'll be able to support for you, man. Not yet. Give it a few years. She'll be able to KP a lot of y'all's deals. For those of you that don't know, a KP is a key principal and or sponsor, someone that can sign on the dotted line for a loan for you to be able to secure a deal. Joel says multifamily information is definitely not as accessible as single family was, and that's 100% true. That's exactly why we do this stuff, guys. We were in y'all's position, we were there and didn't know where to get the information from. We had to, pay to get the information, pay to be in the right rooms, to be around the right people, and that's just what we had to do. So coming from our background and what we've been around, we saw a need and we wanted to fill that need. Our vision is to help as many people as we can. I've heard Oscar say it plenty of times, but him and Ione, they want to change the way this is done. They want to change the game. And I love that. I love that. I'm proud to be team members with them. I'm proud to, be able to help all of you guys, things like that. I'm just super excited. Life is good right now, and it's only getting better. And it's by being positive that it gets better, intentionally positive. So I don't see any questions, guys. You guys are y'all just come on here to listen to me talk. Is that why y'all are here? I didn't think so. Julio, man, I haven't seen your name before, Julio. Welcome. If there's anybody that's new, put a wave in the chat or put something in the chat saying you guys are new. I'm excited to meet all the new people. That's awesome. Welcome, Julio. Welcome. If you're not new, then hello again. But I don't recall ever seeing. Oh, Julio needs help with a property. If you've got a specific property, definitely, you could reach out to me. it might take a long time to get back to you with, considering how my life's about to change right now. But I will absolutely do my best to get back as soon as possible. We don't really underwrite deals on this live. We do a deal or no deal type of Zoom that we hold. But this live is specifically about questions. So if you have a specific question about the deal, put it in the chat and I'll definitely help answer it as best I can. But North Carolina, I love North Carolina. I think it's a beautiful market. Beautiful market. Okay, let's see. All right, I got a question from Joelle right here. It says, so if we are a GP of our own deal or bring a deal to someone, are we allowed to raise capital? Was hearing something about seg regulations. Yeah, it's raising capital is a role. It's something that you have to do to get the job done. I mean, unless you just have a bunch of money, then yeah, you have to go raise the capital for somebody. What I assume you're talking about is earning a GP role for only raising capital. That is what I believe you're talking about. That was something Vina was talking about on her Zoom or her live or whatever it is that she does. She was talking about that, where a lot of people want to just raise capital to be in deals, and that isn't exactly how it works. They have to have some other substantial responsibility as well, or substantial role in the general partnership. So to rephrase that, raising capital is not a role alone. It is a role that has to get done and somebody has to do it, but that can't be the only role that that person is doing. And the compensation can't be based on whether they bring capital or not. If it's a flat fee, whether I raise $1 million or I raise $100, I still get the same fee. That's okay too. I'm not. Where's that disclaimer button? Hang on. Hang on. There you go. That's the disclaimer. Go talk to Nick McGrew. Go talk to any SEC attorney. Get that information. I'm not an attorney, so don't take my word for it. Go do your due diligence and make sure that you're doing things above board. Definitely, definitely, definitely do that. Let me know what the question is, my guy. I will definitely help you the best I can. I'll definitely help you as much as I can. Oh, let me get rid of this disclaimer. I'm running solo here right now, guys, so bear with me. Okay, Real Places says, please tell us about the different markets that you're in and what you're finding and how difficult it is to find or secure deals. That's a pretty good question. So currently we're in Texas and Tennessee, but we're open to any landlord-friendly state that we can have a boots on the ground partner there. We're working on one right now that is in Minnesota. I was sent one that's in, man, I don't remember where it was, but it's not in any of the states that we're in right now. You definitely want to do your market analysis, do your due diligence on the specific area that you're considering buying in. A quick Google search to find out some information, as well as there's a website called City-Data. That's what we use to do our market analysis. Highly, highly recommend you get somebody that has experience in doing a market analysis. If you haven't done one, highly recommend you start learning how to do one. There's the man of the hour. We're talking about this question right here that's below. I was just talking about doing market analysis on the specific market that you're considering looking in. There's no right or wrong answer, right? Any market can be a good market. It just depends on your strategy and what you're looking to do with the property, and just be prepared with the different rules and regulations that that specific state and county have in regards to the landlord-tenant relationships. Also, you want to find out if the properties have any government assistance or living assistance or anything like that, or maybe it's a student housing property, things like that. Those change up the situation a little bit. And then as far as how difficult it is to find or secure deals, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You go
Yep.
through a lot of calls. a lot of hours. You go through a lot of really crappy deals that you just
Mhm.
have to go through. You just have to sift through them, and it may just be that the seller is asking, a higher price that just doesn't make sense in the current market, or maybe they just, think they have a diamond when they really have a turd. I mean, you don't know. There's there's a whole bunch of different situations. So,
Oh,
how
man.
difficult is it? I would say it is pretty difficult, right?
Yeah.
And the difficult part is having the determination and the discipline to keep going. That's
Mhm.
that's the hard part. Not necessarily acquiring or getting it, but to keep going when you keep getting told no, 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 no.
Right.
Like that's the hard part. I don't know if you want to add into that, Oscar.
No, I think you nailed it. Please tell us about the different markets that you're in. We're very selective in the markets that we choose to. I mean, we don't definitely want to be in the middle of nowhere, New Mexico or something like that. All right. We want to definitely look at the market, and that goes back to a few metrics that we take a look at as a team too, like population, medium household income, you know, job growth, crime rates, all that stuff, and we take a look at that before we make a decision whether or not we want to be in that market, especially for like a secondary or tertiary market. We definitely want to know those metrics before we get into those.
Beautiful. Guys, we got a new member, Julio. Julio is a new member. We are new to the community.
What's up, Julio?
Welcome. Julio actually said he needs help with a property. Um, so if you maybe you don't want to ask about it on the live, I totally understand. Some of it is some information you may not want to disclose. So definitely reach out to any one of us. We have our Instagram handles there. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us as far as other than having our phone number, but I don't want to just give that out on a live, then I'll just get blown up all day. This is the best way. Reach out through Instagram, and we'll absolutely help you in the best way possible, Julio. Uh, Welcome. Darth Jader over here representing. They love the blue banner, the disclaimer. Hashtag blame Nick for all of you that know. Hashtag blame Nick. Absolutely. Joel, a good question here, man. He says, do you get a property management team to become part of the GP team? How would you pay property management fees? It's a good question, man. So I would not recommend having them as part of the GP team. I guess it really just depends on the situation. Maybe you have a partner that has a property management company. That would be the only situation I would see that happening. Otherwise, they just get paid out. They get their fee. They get paid their fee, and if you have to pay them payroll as well, or you have to pay your own payroll, you work all that out. Um, I would call Joel. I'm gonna give you a task, man. Go and call 5 property management companies in the markets that you're looking at. Go call 5 different ones and ask them what they charge. Get a brochure, just to kind of figure out find out what asset classes they manage, what they charge, what that process looks like. Go. That's your homework, Joel. Go call 5 property management companies, and they will answer that question for you.
Hmm.
100%. I'm challenging you. Go do it. Go do it, Joel. Okay. Uh, there we go. Team is in Texas. Would love to know. Do we have more luck in Dallas, Houston, or San Antonio? Mm, I would not. I wouldn't say we have more luck in any of them per se. It's, I guess, luck of the draw, right? I
I
mean,
think
it's
it's
just,
more like where we focused our energy, because
yeah,
we're not actively looking in San Antonio, and the reason why is just because we're not local to San Antonio. It doesn't mean we wouldn't take a look at a deal in San Antonio, but Joseph and KJ, Houston, me and Ione, Dallas, right? So it just makes sense. Would we look in those? Yeah, for sure. Is there like luck in Dallas? Yes. Luck in Houston? Yes, for sure. In San Antonio and maybe even Austin, we just aren't very focused on that, but definitely would consider doing a deal there.
definitely. So if you got one, let us know. Oh, here's your answer, Joel. Property management usually gets paid a flat percentage off the EGI. So Max was nice and he gave you the answer. But yeah, it's typically a percentage off of, like you said, the effective gross income.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go call them. I highly recommend you call them, and you won't even have to be concerned about that. You'll know it whenever you're confused or maybe don't know the answer, especially when you're doing your underwriting. Highly recommend you just go call. Get the nitty gritty. Go do the grunt work, so to speak. Go call and find them. That's going to be the best way that you learn. And this is like most cases, that's the answer. Is yeah, we could just give it to you, but will you retain it? Maybe not, unless you go use it right away. But I highly suggest for everybody to, when you're in a situation you don't know, definitely go ask somebody, but also call and try and make that attempt as well to learn, because you're going to remember it better.
Yeah, and Brett says also plus the manager's salary. Yeah, sometimes there is salary involved. You do want to find that out. So good call.
And that would be the payroll that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So just find out how they operate. Is it 10% management fee and no payroll, or is it 4 or 5% management fee and then there is payroll, or how many people am I having to pay for? Those are things you got to find out, and it's different for every property management company. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one for you, Oscar.
Joel asked, do you guys have a form of TC for your deals? Who handles the paperwork, the moving parts, etc.? Great question, Joel. Is there a TC of sorts? I guess that's us as the GPs. But the majority of the paperwork does not get handled by us, nor do we want to handle the paperwork. Because if you're doing deals, like our business model is to do, if it's creative, 40 units or above, and if it's 100 plus, then we know we're at that level where we have to have an attorney do our stuff. Like there's no getting around it, Joel. We get an attorney, one for the PSA, and then either the same attorney, or if not, another one for the other side for the syndication part, because we go out and do a syndication model. So again, consult with your attorneys. We are not attorneys. If you want to put that banner on there, just we are not attorneys, or CPAs or anything, but definitely need to go and talk to an attorney on that. We are actually working on a deal right now where we're negotiating a PSA. I'm not the TC on it. Joseph's not the TC on it. We have an attorney who's reviewing those documents, and the seller has an attorney themselves reviewing that PSA as well. So it's back and forth. Definitely get an attorney if you're going to go and do a syndication model.
And there's a difference between an SEC attorney and a transaction attorney. So the SEC will help you with the syndication and getting all the money and acquiring it in the appropriate way and all of those rules and regulations. That would be like Nick Vina's SEC attorney. And then there's the transactions attorney, and they're the ones that handle the paperwork, looking over the contract, making sure all of that stuff's squared away and ready. Typically, they work hand in hand. It can be the same person, but it's not always the same person. Okay, I see Julio put in a little bit of the information on the deal. Do you have the NOI? Do you have the current NOI? So, I mean, I guess we could take this real quick. I'll give you an answer. So he's saying the current monthly rent is $6,600. I assume that's monthly. Yeah, it looks like monthly. So let's times that by 12. And we'll say 50% expenses. So divide that by 2. So that would put it at $39,000 for the year. And let's divide that by his asking price, $880. So it's about a 4.5 cap. So unless this is like a Class A property, which it doesn't sound like it, because I see right here it says 250,000 in repairs. Definitely sounds like he's a little bit overpriced. If he's willing to do something creative, he could probably get that price. But as it sits right now, especially because you say that 9 of them are vacant right now, it means it's only 50% occupied. His asking price, I don't know what market you're in, but a 4.5 cap for something that's half vacant and needs 250,000, sounds like it's overpriced for sure. I can give that's all I can give you right now with this information that I have.
Joseph, your internet was cutting off here and there.
Dang. Is it still bad?
Every now and then you get a little hiccup.
It's freaking internet.
Are you good, bro? Let me take this question for you. Brian says, "What is the key metric you look at for a given market?" Well, if you're talking about market analysis, there's a few metrics we look at, but if you're talking about like underwriting, there's another metrics that we look at too. So I guess I'll give you the market metrics, I guess, if that's what you're looking for. We want to see population growth. We want to see the household median income also increase between whatever time frame I'm looking at. I want to see that the household incomes or condo incomes as well have gone up steadily. And I also want to see the crime rates in that area that have gone down. Hopefully they've gone down. If they're going up, then I might just run away from that area. So those are some of the key metrics that I look for in the market analysis in whatever market I'm looking at. And maybe Joseph, you can touch up on some of the metrics you look at for underwriting.
Yeah. As far as market analysis, I mean, you hit the head on the nail with those. And then in underwriting, first thing I'm looking at is my returns for the investors. That's the first thing I look at is, if we purchase the deal with the scenario that's given, what are the returns for the investors, right? And that's the first metric that we use to determine whether a deal is a deal for us or not. The other thing we look at is the exit strategy. How soon can we exit? What does the exit look like? Do we have backup exits? Like all that whole exit strategy or the exits collectively, that is our second metric that we want to make sure is tucked in nice and right. Other than that, I don't really care, to be honest. I don't care if we're overpaying. I don't care what the monthly payment is going to be, because if the returns are good and the exit is solid, everything else will be reasonable. Everything else will fall into place. It typically, and the reason I say I don't care is because typically it will force the payment. Like let's say it's a creative deal. The payment will have to be good. It'll have to be reasonable, so our returns for the investors will be good, right? If the returns for the investors aren't good, then there's no point to do it. And I don't know. That's why it's really the only two things that I really care about is those two things. Everything else almost irrelevant. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but once those two things check out, everything else falls into place. Okay. Were you able to hear what I was saying about Julio's deal though? Or should I repeat that?
Yeah, I think we caught that. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I was just saying with what was shown here, it sounds overpriced. I also wouldn't want to take on a property that's 50% occupied.
Same.
Okay. Joel. Found some motivated 5 to 15 units, smaller, but something good to wholesale. What's a safe way to wholesale these properties? What are things to look out for? Can we lock it up knowing our buyer's price? Yeah, if you have the buyer in mind and you know what they're going to pay, then hell yeah, lock it up. Just make sure that you have the buyer ready to go and they have agreed to the terms that you're going to lock up under contract. As long as you're in communication with that buyer, it shouldn't be a problem. The problem arises when you go and sign the contract without having a buyer lined up. And now for us, if we were to buy a property from a wholesaler that was already under contract, well, we wouldn't. We would want to have our attorney look over the contract and create that contract in a way that's going to make sense, or at least have the time to be able to review the contracts. Like we're not going to get into anything that's going to hurt us in the long run. So that's how I would do it. Is I would get on the same page with your potential buyer. Okay. Okay, I'm looking. Liked and subscribed. Love it. Appreciate it, Julio. I hope that helped a little bit or give you a little direction. If not, like I said, reach out to us, man. I'm definitely down to help you out. Okay. I know you told me how to pronounce it. I think it was Leah. 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 There you go. I remember now. I think that's what it was. If I butchered it again, I'm totally sorry. Good evening, everyone. Sorry I missed this weekend. I'm sure it was great. Will the underwriting replay be available on Facebook for purchase? I don't believe that. Well, we might put it on Facebook. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just to be transparent, we will release the recording. What I need to do is all the back end stuff, the automations and everything. So that way, when you do click the link and purchase through the link, that it automatically sends you everything that comes with it in a nice and neat email and gives you all of the links. So that way you can go and watch and use the material that was provided. It was a resounding success in my book. I hope everybody feels the same. I think everybody feels the same from the feedback that we got. It was amazing. It was a 6.5 hour Zoom, guys. We gave so much information in there. Honestly, I couldn't keep going. I was hungry. I had to stop. I didn't have any more juice in the tank. But it was awesome. Reach out to anybody that was a part of it. If you're having second thoughts, that will be available soon. Ideally, I'd like to get it done tomorrow and have that available. But I don't want to put a date on it just because I don't know what's going to happen to me and KJ in the next couple of days. So that's the only reason I'm not putting a firm date on it, just because of that. So I hope you guys can understand that. Okay. Joelle says, have you guys tried to structure a deal to pay the down payment in increments or at certain times, like 50K now, 50K later, or another at some other point? Actually, we have. And I think Oscar was the one that most recently did it. So maybe you could, if you remember what I'm talking about? I think you do. We didn't end
Maybe.
up getting awarded the deal on this one, but we did pitch it.
I don't remember.
The the uh, uh, the lake one.
Yeah, bro. I'm drawing a blank here. We've done so many
Okay.
deals, Joel.
Yeah, so
Uh,
we've definitely pitched it, absolutely,
yeah,
but it wasn't.
we're always pitching something creative, man. I think the other day we were looking at a deal and I think the guy wanted the guy wanted like X amount down and they wanted payments immediately, but the property was just a mess. It was a complete mess. And it wasn't even like it was boarded up, so there was nobody there. It was 100% vacant. I mean, sorry, yeah, vacant. There was nobody there. So the amount of time that it was going to take for us to get it stabilized and for us to get it at a point where we're cash flowing was going to take at least 2 years. I mean, it's a value add plus you have to fill it up, right? So I was working with the seller and I was telling him, look, the only way that this is going to work is either one, we like don't pay you anything up front, or if we do pay you something up front, you're going to have to defer payments for a very long time. And yeah, we definitely do pitch stuff like that, Joel. We get creative like that as well, especially if it's seller finance owned free and clear. Then yeah, we will do something like that for sure.
Love it. Joelle, bringing the heat with the questions tonight, guys. We got another one from Joelle. Are you guys not working? Is that what's happening? Is that why there's a little bit of lack of questions today? Are y'all resting? This is not the time to rest. This is the time to pick up the heat. Like, I need y'all to be sending LOIs. Like, I need y'all to be getting into trouble, getting into problems that you don't know how to solve. Like, that's what we're here to do, guys, is to help you out. All right. Joelle says, are luxury deals underwritten differently? Found deals in Dallas that are going 13,000 average for luxury premium. What are things to note for these luxury deals? How would you approach them as well? Maybe I'm a little bit unclear is what you mean by luxury deals. Maybe you're talking about like class A assets. That's maybe the only thing I could see. If that's what you're talking about, then no, they are underwritten the exact same way as you would a crap shack class D property. Like, they're underwritten the same way. You look at the financials, you determine based on the T12s, the rent rolls, all that good stuff. They're still underwritten the same way. They're just typically at a lower, better cap rate.
Mm-hmm.
I know that sounds backwards, but that's the way cap rates work. The lower the number, the better it is. Maybe you have more input to that, Oscar. I'm not sure if
No,
I'm.
yeah. If I were going to underwrite a luxury flip, I would do it the exact same way I underwrite any other multifamily property. Or I'm sorry, luxury flip. I meant luxury asset. Same way, the same way, bro.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we were reading the same question, or at least seeing it in the same way. All right, let's check it out. Let's go to the next one. All righty. Okay. Another one from Joel. Guys, y'all are slacking in the chat over here. Y'all slacking. Appreciate it though, Joel. Keeping me busy. I love it. What will you guys look at when calculating returns for investors? What do you ask and tell investors when they ask how much will they make? It's actually a really good question. As far as when we're calculating the returns, it's all based on the underwriting. We're just trying to figure out what the cash flow that's going to be remaining and how much of that cash flow will they be receiving in comparison to how much they gave us to buy the property. That's what we mean when we say cash on cash returns. And that's what we're calculating. So general rule of thumb for us and our investors, this is what our investors are looking for. You may have different investors. You may have investors wanting more. You may have investors not really caring as long as they double or triple their money when it's said and done, right? Find out what your investors are looking for. Talk to different people. That's the only way you're going to know what returns they're looking for, by talking to as many people as you can. Get out in those spaces. Go to different multifamily events. Start telling people what you're doing. Hey, I'm looking to buy multifamily apartments. I'm looking to be GP in different deals. I'm new, but I'm hungry and I'm ready to learn. That's it. That's all you gotta say. You're gonna get somebody that admires that and respects you being transparent and honest, and is gonna do wonders for you. So as far as what we're looking for, when it's a Class A, 4% or greater, Class B, 5% or greater, and Class C, 7% or greater. That's what our investors are looking for. So that's what we're looking for as well. And what do you ask and tell them when they ask how much? We just present our underwriting. Not the whole thing, but we just present what they want to see. Because if I presented all of the spreadsheets, they're going to get overwhelmed and just not want to do it. So what did you say?
I said you'll lose them immediately.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If they're anything like Oscar or KJ, as soon as you pull out the analyzer, blank.
Come on, man. You can give me some credit here. I know what it looks like.
No. They know how to read it, but it doesn't interest them. That's what I mean. They do not want to see that stuff. They don't care.
Yeah. Whenever I talk to a Yoni or Joseph, the very first thing is just give me the key points, right? Where do we need to be at? What's the cash on cash look like, and what's the exit strategy? That's all I want to know. That's the type of person I am.
Oscar is your typical investor. That's what they want. They want to know what the overall plan is, how much they're going to make, the length of the hold, and how much you need from them. That's the general investor, what they want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will be a little bit more nitty gritty than that, but for the most part, that's it. We create a little slide deck with the address of the property, pictures of the property, our business plan, things like that, and the highlights that they want to see. That's what we give them. And if they want more, we'll give them more. But most don't ask for more. Oh, Jesse talking about the underwriting Zoom that we hosted this past weekend. Max, Joel, heard it was good. Love it, guys. Love it. Pansy sleep. Hit that like button. Man, I am just like stumbling over my words over here today. I totally apologize. Amazing. Was in deep dive Zoom with Max. $1 million upside over delivered. Value was 100 times the cost. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Congrats on Baby Mud. Man, Baby Mud gets more action than we do, Oscar. Facebook user says no seeping. I believe it's no sleeping. Foot on the gas. Absolutely. Rob's finding deals right now, courtesy of the king of ice fishing himself. I love it, guys. I love seeing that you guys are getting to know each other as well, like building that community with each other. That warms my heart. All right, Joel, made a goal. I have to submit an LOI this month. How does it go compared to single family? Got my buyers and people like you, but overthinking this part. Bro, don't overthink it. Just send it. Just
Mhm.
get a template, get an LOI template. You can ask the broker that you're talking to, say, hey, I have an LOI, or you can tell them I don't have an LOI. I'm new to this, but I want to send some. I want to get in this space. I'm hungry. Right. So definitely, yeah, yeah. Don't overthink it, man. Like you just put in the terms. It's a non-binding, so you're not agreeing to anything yet. You still have to get a purchase and sale agreement. But do the underwriting first, or have somebody do your underwriting for you, and then figure out what offers would make sense, and then present those offers in an LOI. It's basically just a one or two, maybe we have seen some that are like 5 pages. You really don't need that. Just lay out the terms of what you're thinking and submit it. That's it. Don't overthink it. I promise you. I
Mhm.
I was nervous too on my first one. I was like, what is an LOI? What does it look like? You're gonna do it and be like, wow, that was so easy. Let's send 20 more. Like I want to just send them all
Send them all, Joel.
day. Yeah, do it. There you go. Not just one LOI. I want to see 5 LOIs. Now you got some homework, Joel. You got 5 property management companies and 5 LOIs. I know you
And
can
then
do it.
come back to us if you got problems. We'll help you
Yeah,
solve those problems.
exactly. Exactly. Okay. I think this is a question. Michelle says, I cannot remember if I ever asked you if you find multifamily houses portfolio or older owners and they just want to cash out. It is 1.25 mil. Does it make sense to pay it all if they just want out? Hmm. If you're saying like to just pay that all in cash, it might make sense, but it depends on the underwriting. As it's always going to come back to the underwriting. I can't tell you if it makes sense or not without seeing what those numbers say. Um, More than likely, it probably doesn't make sense, to be honest with you. Typically, whatever they ask for usually is not what I would pay. That's just what's been my experience with it. Sometimes it's pretty close. Actually, on the our Corpus deal, we gave them more than what they asked for, but it's because we did it on seller finance, so we were able to do that. Oh, they're 70 and don't want to leave to family. Yeah, if you can, if I don't know if it's like duplex, triplexes and stuff. If that's what it is, so that's a good amount of work for sure. You're gonna, if it's anything 4 units or less, you do it, you comp it the same way you would comp a single family house. Anything that is 5 units or more, you underwrite it using the financials for that property. I hope that helps. Joelle says, who does the closing for multifamily in your team? What difference do you guys see when negotiating and closing deals in multifamily versus single family? Want to learn this part mainly. I'm gonna let you answer this one.
Yeah, so kind of going back to what I was talking about, like, yeah, they're the TC, I guess, is the GPs are responsible for the deal to close. Like, yes, your attorney's involved, and then you've got a title company, depending on what state you're in, or closing attorney, whatever that may be. But in Texas, there's a title company, so you would have to coordinate. You as a TC or GP have to coordinate the closing still. So you have to coordinate. If there's a lender, that's you. If there's an attorney, that's you. If there's a title company, that's you. If there's a broker, that's you. There's just a bunch of different moving parts. But Joel, the main difference is that there's a little bit more complexity when it comes to multifamily than there is single family. Like single family, it's pretty straightforward. Even if it's creative, it's still pretty straightforward. But when it's multifamily, because there's so many moving parts, the way we do business, the way our business model is structured, we have to make sure that all that is coordinated and it closes on time because it's also dependent on a lot of moving parts, right? If you're getting involved in the syndication stuff, then you have to make sure that all that goes according to schedule. And that's up to you as the GP operator to make sure that all that's taken care of prior to closing or very close to closing, where you can simultaneously close it at the same day or have those moving parts very close to each other. So you have to really coordinate and stay on top of it. You cannot you cannot assume that the title company is working on something, or assume that the attorney is working on something, or that they're working together. You cannot assume that. You have to stay on top of it. That little assumption, and say it doesn't work out, or say there's a miscommunication in there, can cost you a week or two or more in closing that property. So absolutely be on top of it. Don't assume. And if you need to blow up an attorney or a title company or whatever it may be to call and make sure that they're doing what they're doing, you have to make sure that they are on top of it. So I can't stress that enough. In multifamily, there's more to it. There's a lot of things at stake. You have to make sure it gets done. In single family, it can be a little bit more lenient. Obviously, it's still, you still want to be on top of it, but in multifamily, it's just a lot more moving pieces. That's what I would say.
Okay. Brett, good to see you, brother. Are you trying to find direct to seller or using brokers? Right now, our current strategy is straight just direct to brokers. We do have people bringing leads to us that are direct to seller. Like earlier today, Oscar and I, we were on the phone with the seller, but it's not our main strategy of marketing right now. Not to say that it's not good. That's what PACE teaches. And I mean, a lot of people have good experience with direct to seller. It's just not our current marketing strategy right now. Ooh, PN says, can you give us an example of some of your exit strategies? That's a good one. You want to touch on this, Oscar?
Well, we always look at a deal depending because we have investors that we have to put in our deal, and most of them in multifamily. So a lot of the times what we look at for exit strategies is, one, how long can we hold our investors' money before we have to pay them out? Or if it's a value add opportunity and we're only there to increase the value of the property and then exit that property to get into a bigger or a better, nicer asset, then those are typically the two exit strategies that we keep in mind, right? If we have investors in our deal, how long will we don't want to keep their money tied up on a property that's a value add. We definitely want to keep it moving. But if it's like a class A or a luxury or something like that, then maybe that strategy may be different. Maybe that may be a longer term hold because it makes sense to hold it forever, right? So it really depends on the deal that you're looking at. But if it's a class C value add, typically we like to exit between 5 to 7 years. Just depends on the deal. And if it's like a class B or A, then we would look at doing maybe a 5-year refinance to pay off some of these investors, or just hold it for the long term and let them know that it's going to be a long term play. So it really just depends on the asset and the location of it.
Yeah. Well said, man. Well said. And that's not to say that you can't underwrite for trying to sell it in 3 years or sooner, right?
Right.
That's definitely an opportunity. But conservatively, we also want to, like Oscar said, 5 to 7 years. But we'll do the stress test. Hey, can we sell this sooner if it makes sense? Or you're going to do all those different things. I got another question for you, Oscar. You ready?
Yeah. That's the $1 million upside question, bro.
I love it.
Why you gotta call me out like that, man? I thought we were boys, you know? Now I feel pressure over here.
I got you. That's no comment. That's awesome.
Fire questions, bro.
We'll move on. I've asked him the same thing too. Don't worry. I know KJ's asked the same thing as well.
Maybe we'll reassess after 1,000 units. I don't know yet.
Yeah. Sorry, had to throw that one at you. It was
No,
in the
you're good,
chat.
bro.
Had to do it. Okay, this is KJ over here sitting on the sideline talking about Ione's analyzer. And I just pulled it up because huge shout out to Ione. That Zoom could not have been possible without her putting all those behind that scenes hours in. Lots of sleepless nights. She's just a working machine, and we appreciate her so much. Thank you, Ione.
Yep. Thank you, Ione. Couldn't have done it without you.
I like you too, Oscar, but she made it.
No, man, she's good. I'm just happy to be here, guys.
Yeah. Moral support, right?
Yeah.
All right, Ryan says he's got 580 units near New Orleans. Do you guys have anyone interested in working near there? It would be 35 million loan assumption. Having trouble working on finding that big of a sponsor. If this is a class A or B, I have someone that would potentially be interested in it. And I think you know what I'm talking about, Oscar. Um, reach out to us, Ryan. We could potentially help you out. If it's a class C, that might be a little harder. But if it's a class A or B, I definitely think we could do something like that. Deep dive cost baby mud to come. Man, not yet. Not yet, but she on the way, that's for sure. The deal analyzer is money. That's awesome.
Thanks, Jesse.
Philip submitted 7 LOIs last month and all got turned down. You know what
Follow up.
though?
Follow up,
Way to
Philip.
go, Philip. Oh yeah, follow up.
Follow up, bro.
Follow up, definitely.
Mhm.
Hit them every 2 or 3 weeks.
And
Hey, how's it
even
going?
and even throw this out there, Philip. Follow up if they're brokers. Follow up with them and be like, hey, if there's any hesitation or any blocks or whatever it may be with the buyer that you guys selected or got awarded, don't hesitate to call me. My offer still stands. Call me if anything happens. That way you're on their waiting list if something happens.
Yeah. But you don't have to tell them this part. Remember, yesterday's offer is not today's offer. You're going to reassess, reevaluate when they come back.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to tell them that part, but just keep that in mind. That was a little nugget right there that Oscar just dropped, guys.
Yep.
And then look, Daryl's shouting you out too. Your hard work will definitely pay off. It absolutely will. Joel, feeling motivated. Love it. He says, what are the keys to winning a negotiation? What pushes away or disqualifies you? All perform on when getting verbals for multifamily deals. I think that might be your area of expertise there because I don't really care if they like me or not. I just tell them the numbers and this is the situation that we're in. How can we make it work? I mean, I'm pretty straightforward. I know Oscar has a different approach.
Joseph is straightforward. It works really good for him, especially direct to seller. Direct to seller, I've noticed that Joseph, they just respect the fact that he gets to the point. They respect that that Joseph's not there to waste their time or beat around the bush. He just tells it like it is, and sellers really, really respect that because a lot of times you're dealing with investors of some sort, right? Like these guys, they know what they're doing or have money. So for them, the conversation's just got to be quick and done and easy, straight to the point. And so when they see that, they're like, "Oh man, I appreciate the honesty. I appreciate this, getting straight to the point." So that's one approach that I've seen Joseph do when it comes to direct to seller. And it's his personality too. It just comes off really well when he talks like that. When it's a broker, then it's different because you're negotiating through someone and you're not negotiating to the direct source. So the broker, he's going to say, or he or she's going to say what they have to say, but ultimately they're going to have to go back and talk to the seller and then they will decide or the seller will decide, right? So different methods of negotiating with them is just really just letting them know from the beginning what it is that you're looking for because you don't want to waste these people's time, like we always start off our conversations with, look, this is what we do. This is how we structure our deals. Here's what we need. And if we can meet these metrics, perfect. Then we've got a deal. But if not, then that's okay. Then we might be able to see what we can do creatively. But if not, then here's our offers. It really just comes back to uh, being transparent, talking to them, knowing what the business model is like, sending the LOIs anyway, and following up because the follow up is the most important thing. That's why whoever posted that earlier, I can't remember who it was. Philip, I think it was Philip, who said that they submitted an LOI and they all got turned down. Don't let that deter you, man. That's you need to follow up. Like keep following up. If you're with a broker, see what happens. Like even though they may have gone with someone else, they may not even gotten to the point where they got an agreement with the purchase and sell agreement. Maybe something fell through and now they're having to go back and look at PSA or LOIs. That's when you come in. You have to go and follow up. So follow up is the name of the game, Joel. I think that's the best thing I can tell you is yes, you can negotiate with them, but a lot of the times you won't get the deal right then and there in your first negotiation. It's going to be a couple rounds into it before you have an actual deal on your plate.
Always dropping so much knowledge. I love it, bro. My guy
Thanks.
just be dropping golden nuggets left and right.
Thanks, bro. Hopefully nobody's asleep listening to that.
It happens. It happens. But you know what? This is being broadcasted, so it will be there for later, guys.
Nice.
There we go. All right, Michelle. She was at the underwriting class.
Yeah,
6+
Michelle is
hours. So
amazing.
glad to have you there, Michelle.
Yeah,
It was
thank you, Michelle.
awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Michelle, that deal that you had at 1.25 is duplex. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to individually comp each duplex. And if they're all in the same area, you might be comping to each other. So I would try and find another duplex or triplex or quadplex, something nearby that's similar, and figure out what those were selling for. And then once you have that and compare it to that property, then you'll have a general idea of what each of them should be worth, and then kind of put it together. But for us, we don't look at anything. We don't look at those size units. It's just not in our buy box. But if you need help, let me know. I can absolutely help you with whatever it is you're looking to do. All right. Joelle says, sounds like the due diligence and closing period is where the main action and negotiation takes place. Definitely teamwork. Can't do it alone.
Yeah, it does happen there. That's part of it. It's definitely the most juicy, and even before the due diligence period even starts, there's still negotiations going on. Yeah, definitely, Joel. I think once you get on the purchase and sell agreement, when you've executed on a PSA, even then you're doing your due diligence, right? So if you find something in your due diligence that maybe the seller or the broker weren't being truthful about, then there's going to be more negotiations on that. So yeah, it's throughout the whole process, man, for sure.
Okay. Let's see what we got next. We got Star Baby Mud Young. Gonna be a good investor, definitely. Ioni's product was outstanding. Purchased multiple deal analyzers. Not going to need another. Heck yeah. Love the feedback, guys. Love the feedback. Ryan says, cheers. Let's take down some deals. Hell yeah, guys.
Let's do it.
KJ, we kind of talked about that a little bit, but the promise was 3 hours. We delivered more than 2 times that. No, not put it that way. I didn't even think about it that way.
We should have just called it a 3-day event.
I know, right? Okay. Philip, talking about one of his LOIs, says, one of my LOIs, the seller turned my offer down and turned around and changed the asking price higher to my exact number that I was offering them.
Oh, that's a counter.
Nice.
You, sir, got a counter.
There you go. That's the start of the negotiations. Once you get some kind of feedback on an LOI, boom, that's the negotiations. You start trying to figure it out.
That's what I said. Follow up, man. Don't let those go. If someone is countering you, that means they're interested in your offer. So keep following up.
Yeah, exactly. But way to go, Philip. I'm so proud of you, bro. This guy came in knowing nothing, and now he's offering to help people underwrite. Where did I just see that? Boom. Came in knowing nothing, and now he's able to help underwrite deals for people. He's a smart guy. Smart guy. G929RR says, hello. What's up, brother or sister? I don't know what your actual name is, but pleasure to have you here.
When I think of RR, all I think about is rent roll.
Yeah. Me too. Joseph. What's up, fellow Joseph? He says, what's up, guys? Glad to have you here, man. He's going to circle back. Love it. They call my town Wide Awake Willie or Wiley. Yeah, I've never heard of that town. That's pretty funny, though.
No, I've heard of that town. It's near DFW. But I don't know about Wide Awake.
That's funny. I totally cut out for a second there, but I think I got the gist of what you're saying.
You're good.
All right. I see a couple from Joel real quick. Found a lot of 2 to 4. Is it the same as regular single family? Yes, it definitely is. You comp it compared to the other single families or other duplex, triplex, quadplexes. Biggest mistakes, lessons. Ooh, we could talk about that for quite a
Mm.
while. I'll
Mhm.
say one thing and you say one thing and we'll go to the next. Um, Upfront contracts. Get it out of the way, have the conversation. I don't literally mean sign a contract. I just mean get on the same page as soon as possible. Have that conversation.
Man, you took mine, bro. That's why you wanted to go first, huh?
No, no, I mean that was just the first thing I thought of. Like it's definitely that was definitely a big learning lesson, and we're constantly learning that lesson.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, for sure. I don't know that I have. I mean, there's a few, but I think more than anything, I want to touch up on one that Ione was going through when she first started, and that was underwriting. She would look at a bunch of deals when she was new, and she would be like in this like stage of like, am I doing something wrong? Like, why are any of these deals working? And she wasn't doing anything wrong, guys. It was just that there's a lot of bad deals out there that we looked at over easily over 100 deals and underwriting. And she even talked to Joseph at one point when we first started and was like, are we doing something wrong? Like, we know what's going on here.
I
And so
remember.
I think going and actually doing a deal for like the first time really gave that clarity onto what exactly it is that you need to do to underwrite a deal, and also learning and growing and getting feedback from third party services and all that stuff. It helped out a lot. So I think there's a lot of growing when you're doing underwriting as well. So if you guys are underwriting deals and they're not making any sense and you feel like, man, like this, there's something wrong here, or maybe it's me, it's normal. You just need to keep going through, pushing through, surround yourself with people who have done deals before, and ask them the questions. When if you bring them a lead or a deal, find out how they're underwriting, and that's going to help you tremendously. That way you can apply those same strategies when you underwrite your deals.
Some more of those nuggets.
Hmm.
Some from the guy who said I don't know what to say. Like you took my answer, dude. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Oh man. Oh, G929RR. That's his bike. The
Oh,
Honda.
nice.
Nice. We're both
Nice.
we're both bike guys. I sold mine, and I think Oscar's is decommissioned right now. So I guess you can say we're bike guys. I do enjoy them.
I
My brother.
do. I do want a Honda for sure. Like I want a sports bike right now. I have a Harley, but again, it's been decommissioned for a while. So at some point, I'll get back on one.
Hey, we got his name. He's Am Greg. Well, good to meet you, Greg. But I think that's the at least second time I've seen that name pop up in some of these lives. So glad to have you again, man. Oh, here we go. He said he's got a S1000. Nice.
Dang, man, that thing is fast,
Jealous.
bro.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Jealous. Yeah, now I got a kid, so no bikes for me unless they have 3 wheels on the back. Uh, okay. Last question. It's 9 o'clock. We do this for an hour, so we're about to sign out here. Joel says, "Do you guys still keep your single family business going? Who manages that while doing the multifamily side?" Yes, we absolutely do, and a little bit of both of us, I would say. Um, KJ's always out doing her thing, always pulling in leads, different people to help. Um, that okay, our direction in single family is we're looking to wholesale and we're looking to buy sub twos. That's our strategy. We're looking to do wraps, and if a deal makes sense, we'll take it down. But for the most part, we're just looking to help other people wholesale their deals. We're not doing any direct marketing or anything like that. So if you guys need help selling a deal, we could absolutely do that. We have Dallas and Houston covered. We have tons of buyers there. If it's a good sub two or creative deal, we'll definitely take a look at it. We have one in escrow right now. We have 3 more that we were looking at. One of them that we will probably proceed with. The other two just didn't really fit what we were looking for. So we're definitely looking. We're definitely looking. So if you got some, let us know. I know KJ's been working on some mobile home or something. It may or may not pan out. Not entirely sure yet, but we'll see what finds out. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Andreas says, "Baby mug gets all your money now." Yep. It's been that way. How long? She's been pregnant 9 months, so it's been that way for about 9 months so far. How can we submit a wholesale deal to you? I would reach out to one of us on Instagram. Easiest way to do it. I mean, we regularly check that. That's the best way. That's the best way to do it. If you have our phone number, shoot a text. That works too. But Instagram is probably the easiest way. Hang on. There we go. We got those are our Instagram tags right there. That's the best way to get a hold of us. And if we don't respond in a day, send us another one. You're not gonna hurt our feelings. Blow us up. Blow us up. We don't mind it. Well, Oscar, do you have anything else? Any closing remarks?
I don't have any more announcements or closing remarks other than if you guys need help with any types of deals or you have problems, reach out to us to see if we can help you guys out with that. We want everybody to do the first deal, so we want to give back to those, and especially you guys who have been watching us for a while and supporting us. Reach out to us, and we'd like to meet you guys too at some point, like one-on-one, and talk to you guys and see if there's a way we can work going forward. So other than that, I'm good to go. Philip, go get that deal, bro. I see you in there. Follow up on those LOIs, man. Let us know how they go in the Facebook group if you're not part of our Facebook group.
Yeah, man, I just know Philip's gonna do it. I know he's gonna get a deal. I know it. I have an announcement, I guess, this week. So typically we have Friday morning live, similar to this, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of what we went through that week. And we have a Zoom at noon on Fridays. Both of those Zooms we will not be hosting this week, just because it would be just Oscar alone. And at the same time, he has a lot of things on his plate right now, especially since KJ and I are basically dumping both of our jobs on him and Ione for at least a week until I can get my feet wet and back into it again. So for this week, we won't be hosting the Friday events, the live and the Zoom. So just be aware of that. And if anything changes for next Monday, we will make a post or let everybody be aware of that as well. So that's all I got. Other than that, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you all spending your Monday night. Gerald has a question for you, Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Right here on the side chat. One last thing.
Good question, Gerald. No, I am not Filipino. Ione is, but not me. And I do enjoy some very good Filipino food. So when I'm down in Houston next time, I heard of a fancy place over there that people line up out the door. Ione and I will be there for sure.
Shoot, where's this at? We're gonna have to get together offline. I need to figure out where this place is at too.
I've only heard, bro. I don't know, man. It's by reputation. I've never researched it or anything. So yeah, when we go down there, bro, I'll hit you up and we got to go try it out.
Heck yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, that's it, guys. We appreciate y'all coming. Super thankful for all of y'all sticking around, hanging out with us on your Monday nights. I know y'all have plenty of things that y'all could be doing, and you're supposed to spend it with us. So much love and appreciation to all of y'all, and you guys have a wonderful night. Peace out, guys.